Hey guys, I hope that your day is going as beautifully as mine is. This is my final Milan review and a look at my last full paycheck. I wrote down some notes because I want to make sure I tell you guys everything. So, for me, it was a rough month, and I was trying to decide whether to put the pros and cons separate or to lump them together. At this point, I don't know, so I'm just going to wing it. You know that I had a rough month at Milan. My thing was I always wanted to feel settled because I was always in and out of my truck. As a matter of fact, the last truck that I got, all of my things were still in a plastic bag because I didn't feel secure in the truck. I didn't know whether I was going to keep that truck or whether or not I was going to be moved from that truck to another truck. So I did want to feel settled at Milan. That didn't happen for me. In 3 weeks, I had 3 different trucks. And in those 3 different trucks, they were in the shop a total of 7 times in 3 weeks. I did 2 breakdown calls. Breakdown, I have to tell you up front, gets an absolute 0 from me. I needed them twice. They left me hanging twice. And I just had to fend for myself and do the best that I could with that. So let's talk about some of the benefits of working at Milan. And there are definitely benefits of being there. So I'm looking at a note right now. If you see me looking down, you can pretty much, so you get paid the orientation. Orientation is a day and a half. You got home time. Generally, you get home every weekend to do your 34 hours, so that's a plus. You're doing no New York or no New Jersey or any of those things, no Maine, none of that stuff. You're pretty much centered in the U.S., so you're pretty much doing Midwest, Mid-South, those kind of things. You get a vacation time at Milan. You can also take a rider and your pet along with you. So those are definitely benefits that Milan offers. If you last for 30 days, and you know that I did not, you get a $1,500 referral bonus if you refer someone. If they stay 30 days, and if you make it 30 days, because now there's still 2 employees that were referrals by me, they're still there, and I'm here. So, so if you make it your 30 days, then you get that $1,500 bonus. And I'm just looking at the things that the company wrote down first before I get into the things that I consider to be benefits of working there. Okay, so you have the 7 paid holidays. I did mention your running space. So, and the home every weekend, pretty much everything that I said. Oh, and of course, the pay is great. So the pay is really, really good. The orientation is short. The trainer that I had was phenomenal. Great trainer, best trainer I ever had in my trucking career. I was a very, 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 very happy with my trainer. Now, I have other notes on here. I have my trading notes on here as well. So as far as the cons, and this is just for me personally, I didn't feel like the company supported me. Upper management was very mean. They were more like bullies to me than allies. And in our first meeting, the first meeting was very kind of almost like he wanted me to be intimidated by him or something like that. So there were no smiles. There was none of those things. Hey, welcome to the company. We're glad that you're here. None of that stuff. Is pretty much all business. And upper management is very much like that. And the thing about Milan is most people there don't smile. I'm not sure why they don't smile, but they're just not smiling. I can literally count on a few fingers the times that I've seen people smiling there. It's just not a very happy place. Dispatchers don't seem to have any power to make any decision. So if you ask give you a brief example. I asked if I can park in the Nashville yard as opposed to the Murfreesboro yard. That literally took days for me to get an answer for that. So they don't seem to have any power to do anything. Everything that you ask, they have to ask someone else. Sometimes they'll get back to you, sometimes they won't. Equipment is unreliable, at least for me. I know that there are other people who've had equipment that's great. This is just from my personal point of view. So I found the equipment very unreliable. The equipment is old. My Qualcomm was old. The trailers are old. That's how I got all these big muscles now. And both of the trucks that they put me in, they were actually salvage trucks from wrecks. Trucks that they put together from pieces of other trucks to give to me. And it would have been okay. I had no problem with that. I just wanted a truck that was mechanically sound and that felt like mine. Let's see. Okay, those are the benefits. Now, this is another benefit. They will give you plenty of freight. So the money, you don't have to worry about. They are going to pay you. They're going to pay you well. You're going to get plenty of freight. There is no shortage of freight at Milan. They don't have cameras in your truck. That was a huge deal for me. I didn't have to do a trainer per se. I had my trainer one day and I insisted on having him 2 days. He was phenomenal. They don't do a hair follicle test. And you're pretty much on your own. So they treat you like a professional in that sense. You are responsible for routing your own trip plan, that kind of thing, programming your own Qualcomm. Most of the pilots you can fuel at with no problem. That was another plus that I had, because I had a company before where I was always begging for fuel. So that was a big deal for me. Another thing that I did not love about Milan was the paperwork. There is a lot of paperwork compared to other trucking companies. There's a lot of paperwork that you have to keep up with. At least for me, there was a lot of paperwork. As far as my dispatchers, so I went from the extreme on both ends. I started out with a dispatcher who seemed to care less that I was even alive. And when I would ask him for things, he just never got back to me. So I usually ended up following up after I hounded him and he just never got back to me. I would follow up with that particular department to get the answer that I needed. So I requested a change of dispatch, which upper management did not seem to appreciate. I got a different dispatch. The challenge with that dispatcher is he wanted to micromanage everything. At least that's the way it felt to me. He was like, where are you right now? What are you doing? I see that you're still there. Why are you there so long? That kind of thing. So I didn't like that. Overall, Milan can be a phenomenal company. If they made drivers, well, let me speak for me, because not all drivers have the same experience. For me, it would have been a phenomenal company had they made me feel welcome. If I could have found a truck that was not breaking down all the time. And while I was breaking down, if somebody would have tried to help me, or if management would have given me any kind of sympathy instead of treating me like I broke trucks that were already in wrecks and they were still broken. So that would have, and just a little bit of kindness from them would have gone a long way. So that's my spiel on Milan. One of the best things that happened at Milan was the experience I got backing. I got so much better at my backing because I got the opportunity to do it so much. So that was a huge, huge, huge benefit of being at Milan. So now let's take a look at this last check. I hope this is clear because I'm turning it upside down again. So my last check grossed $1,657.01. The taxes, are $405.08. $1,000,000.59. Now, they took $110 worth of deduction. So let's go ahead and take a look at the deduction. So they charged me for, and I don't know if this is showing on the phone because I have it upside down. So, oh, okay, I think I got it now. Not really sure. I'm trying to get it. But they charged me for the physical. Well, I don't think I'm getting this. Okay, so they charged me for the physical and the drug test. So that's what the $110 deduction is. That net pay is $1,141.42. Sorry, guys, I'm holding this upside down and trying to read it at the same time. The year-to-date earnings, $6,143.15. My taxes were $1,344.07. But in the taxes, they don't include your Medicaid and your FICA, so it's actually more than that. The total deductions, $304, and that year-to-date net pay was $4,495.08. So that's what I actually brought home. You guys stay blessed. Be safe out there. Enjoy an amazing day.